All right, hello everyone, and welcome into the 2015 MotoOption Supercross Series presented by Fly Racing. My name is Kellen Brower here on Start Your Systems Television, and we have Anaheim 2 action tonight for the third round of the 2015 RF Gaming Supercross Championship, a MotoOption Series. And if I could get a check in chat real quick, because I have no idea why it's telling me that I'm not streaming right now. But we will go in game as things are going to get heating up here pretty quickly. And again, anybody that can confirm or deny in chat that we have good audio, we have good video. I'm just kind of switching back and forth between the game and the title image right now. Voice yes, picture no. Yeah, I think it's the game's loading in. The first heat's coming up here in just a second, so so we'll get that going in just a second as soon as I seem to load in very slowly. But you guys can enjoy this beautiful title image in the meantime. Of course, Byron Downen served his 1-week suspension last week, last year's 2014 Supercross champion. He should be back tonight. I heard he may not be back, but I'm pretty sure he is going to be back. He qualified 5th. And yeah, so he qualified 5th. So he must be here. Go over the qualifying order in just a second as soon as I get my game set up. All right, qualifying order is 250 heat, or excuse me, 450 heat 1 lineup check is on the line. And actually, I'm having some lag issues, so give me a second, folks. Whoops. All right, this looks like it is 450 heat number 1 ready and set to go here from Anaheim 2. I apologize for the abrupt coverage here, but we are off and running. And looks like I would pick the right guy to look at coming into turn 1 as Ryan Mahan of the Splitfire team is going to grab that hole shot. And it looks like Tony Spinelli was right there with him on the 17 LSD racing machine. And again, if I could just get a confirmation in chat that picture quality is there. As on my end, it's 100% there. But it might not be yet for you guys. And I know that we want to get that sorted so you guys can actually see what's happening this evening. But Mahan leads away from, looks like Craig Richards in the 2nd place position, and it is Craig rocking some One Industries gear that he gave me earlier. So again, we'll look at the track as we go on with these guys and figure out who's where. Jonathan Olson, also on that Splitfire team, running in the 3rd position right now. With Andrew Wood in 4th. So this is your top 4 runners right now, 1 through 4 of Mahan, Richards, Olson, and Andrew Wood. Those are your transfer spots. Brandon Berg sits in 5th place. That will not transfer him directly to the main event out of the heat race. Only the top 4 in a 6-lap race here in both 450 heat races. And then these guys will have semis as opposed to no semis for the 250 class. Berg has Tony Spinelli right behind him. Remember, Spinelli started 2nd place right behind Mahan, who still leads the race here. Spinelli falling back just a little bit. And we got Fred Heather and Brock Hardy coming through. Race Carlin, top 10 in points on his motorsport.com ride, as well as Jared Seidhoff. Seidhoff enters this round 8th in points. He's got Chase DeSalle, Devin Davis behind him, Michael Gonzalez, Steven Azarkiewicz. Apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Scott Simmons outside of transfer by a long ways. Jeremy Shipley, hopefully he can turn things around this week. Owen Hillman, Jacob LaRoche, and Saulnier, I think, is your last runner as we go back up front and focus on the transfer battles. We got a battle for the lead, Richards versus Mahan on lap number 3, about halfway through in this race as they come back across the start straight into this kind of kinked right hand or left hand corner in turn 1. Oh, Richards is jumping off the track right into your screen here, but gets it going and still somehow nails that triple out of the corner. Nice job for Richards, but he loses some time to Mahan, who holds down that lead a little bit more firmer now. So we got this whoop section into a wall. It kinks right to the bit, and then we have another set of whoops as we continue to take a look at this track tonight. U-turn into this triple. And then, oh, Mahan nails the quad. Some guy's going on-off triple, Mahan quadding, and then there's a split section over here that pretty much everybody's going to the left side on. The right side is very unusable because you can't triple in. If you could triple in, it might be usable, but it's just not really that good. And then the first sight this year of a tunnel jump, first sight in I think 2 years that we've seen a tunnel jump. I don't think there's a tunnel jump for 2014 track maps at all. But Mahan making his way around on those tunnel jumps. With Richard still second, Wood now third. So Wood looking to make it into his first main event of the season. After a frustrating Anaheim 1, he did not race Phoenix. Sits third right now with Jonathan Olsen still in fourth. So these guys have definitely separated themselves from the pack as Brock Hardy comes up short on the triple out of the tunnel. He's got a little ways to go to catch that lead group though, as he comes back out here on the start straight. Want to give a quick shout out to Dominic Tiberino, third week in a row making cameras for me, and does a very nice job with the cameras. I told him he may be able to help stream with me tonight if he wants to, but I'm just going to be streaming straight through the heat races. Hopefully you guys can have better stream quality throughout the heat races than if I am constantly streaming instead of stopping and going, as that seemed to be a problem at Anaheim in week 1. Olsen still in the final transfer spot as we are now on lap number 5. 2 laps to go. He's trying to give A-Wood some fits. Looks like Mahan still has a nice little 1 second lead over Richards. 1.5-ish second, 1.8 as it scrolls across the top of your screen. Remember the running order scrolling across the top of your screen. The lap marker, currently green when we are on the white flag lap. When the leader crosses the line, it will turn white, and then it will form a checkered formation when the race is over. So it's easy for you to tell what lap everybody is on. As Olsen still giving chase to Wood. Wood not faulting at all as Olsen actually makes a little mistake. Olsen led quite a bit of today's EMF 450 race until eventually coughing up the win to Hunter Root, last week's Phoenix Supercross winner. Pretty pumped to see A-Wood doing well this week. I know he was extremely frustrated after Anaheim 1. As we are now on the white flag lap, Mahan up and over the line. 1 lap left and he will be on his way to a heat race victory if he doesn't kill himself by coming up short on that quad. Remember, Mahan, of course, had to miss the opening round at Anaheim because he had a pretty vicious real-life crash that I believe he broke his shoulder or his collarbone. Had to have surgery on that and did not make it to Anaheim, but was second last week at Phoenix and again was looking really, really fast in qualifying times. Did not earn the top qualifying spot. That went to Tyson Fresquez, the only rider in the 106 second range in terms of qualifying. I know I heard Mahan and possibly Alexis Leclerc also did 106s during the week, but Tyson the only one to actually do it during qualifying. And Mahan, again, still nailing that quad, looking like he is on his way to a 450 heat number 1 victory here as he triples his way out of the split section, over the double, and over the line. Ryan Mahan picks up the 450 heat number 1 victory. Craig Richards followed him all the way through. Both riders almost in the 109s, actually. Richards just missed it, running a 110 dead flat. Oh, we got a battle for third coming to the line. These guys are in transfer. They don't need to battle with each other. I think A-Wood realizes that as Olsen takes a spot from him and will secure a better gate pick going to the main, but that doesn't really matter as both these guys are headed to the main event, Wood and Olsen. Brock Hardy just misses out. We'll have top pick heading into the semis for gate pick. These guys all stayed pretty even. Not a lot of crashing or chaotic events going on as Spinelli comes across in 6th. Michael Gonzalez just beats Devin Davis out across the line for 7th. And Race Carlin is going to pick up a 9th. Brandon Berg 10th. And Scott Simmons 11th. Jared Seidhoff 12th with Steven Azarkiewicz in 13th. Then we got Jacob LaRoche, Fred Heather, Jeremy Shipley battling it out with Chase DeSalle, and then he gets into him. Still action going on between these guys. Way down in the 16th place position, I believe. I think this is a battle for 16th. Oh, DeSalle going for that triple, almost messes him right up. Shipley's going to get 16th. Of course, these guys not in transfer spots. All right, cuts are in. Looks like it doesn't affect any of our transfer positions. As it again, like I said, is number 37 of Ryan Mahan winning the first 450 heat of the night. So we'll see what Mahan can do against the rest of the field heading into the main. And my guess right now is that the second 450 heat is pretty darn stacked. If Mahan was in this one, I gotta imagine that we're going to see Jeremy Smith, Byron Downen, Alexis Leclerc, Tyson Fresquez, all those guys have to be in the second heat unless some of them aren't here. So that will be coming up in just a moment here. As soon as we grab a restart, we'll see the lineup check for the second 450 heat. Let's go on board with Mahan, who's burning some laps right now on this track, as you can see. Through those tricky set of whoops. And then he's going to backflip the triple. That makes me nauseous. But we have a restart. So again, I hope everybody's joining our coverage, or enjoying our coverage tonight on Start Your Systems Television on twitch.tv. And again, you can check all of these live broadcasts within hours of the race tonight on our YouTube channel, Start Your Systems on YouTube. Check it out, subscribe, enjoy coverage. We're going to have video coverage all week this week, so you guys can definitely go ahead and check that out, as my game is taking just a lovely amount of time to load in. But as soon as it loads in, I can take you guys through this running order. Alright, so lineup check time. And it does look like there's quite a few heavy hitters in this one. Leclerc, one of them. I don't have his skins this week, which is probably indicative of the fact that IZI might have their skins done, but have yet to post them. Leclerc, of course, running his old skins all at Anaheim 1, and he supposedly missed Phoenix last week because he thought the races were still on Thursdays. That is what happens when you forget to check your calendar, folks. So Leclerc almost took himself right out of the title fight by missing last week. Fortunately, someone who was not really in this title fight, Hunter Root, won the race last week. Hunter now apparently says he will be racing the 450 class from now on, but who knows if that's going to be true or not. And of course, we've got all kinds of different guys in here. Two-time champion Brian Haskell, I know, is in this one. We got Tyson Fresquez, Jeremy Smith. Take a look at the inside of the gate here as Eduardo Simos is between Fresquez and Smith. 250 Heat 2 action from Anaheim is off and running right now. Terrible jump. Oh, there was a big crash between Smith and Fresquez, and they caused a huge pileup. Look at all these riders down. Smith is down. I saw Jack Haley in there. Fresquez is up. Maybe not Jack Haley. Maybe that was Jack Roberts. I apologize to the System Decal team. I know Jack Haley said he's going to miss the rest of rounds, but oh man, Fresquez and Smith both went down in that first corner. I saw Smith kind of leaned in on Fresquez and they collided, and it doesn't seem like they took Leclerc with them. Oh, maybe they did, as Clay Alfrey has the race lead right now. Alfrey leads over Simos, so we were looking at Simos, who must have squeaked through that group by getting a bad start. And he's going to try to get the lead. These guys are side by side. Simos to the inside, makes the pass, and Eduardo Simos of the Atlas Technologies team leads across the line over the first lap, and then goes outside for some reason and gets taken out by Clay Alfrey. That was a horrible line choice by Simos. You got to protect those insides when you got the lead there, Mr. Brazilian. That puts Dylan Copeland of the Tagger Designs team into second as he jumps around the outside of the 16 machine of Tyler Crane. This guy's going bar to bar over the triple here. Crane looking for a way around is going to table over and single to the inside and then get into the back of Copeland, so that sends him down. Fresquez was trying to come through. He goes down as well. So the 2012 title combatants at the RF Outdoor Nationals end up facing each other on the ground here in Anaheim. And that puts them both out of transfer spots right now as Copeland is in, Kyle Robb is in. Kyle Robb again running something I don't have. But Alfre leads the way as he almost jumps off the track and saves it right there. How about Dylan Copeland? The number 708 machine sitting second right now with a wild and rowdy Ryder Robb coming up behind him. Robb's going to go outside and still double. We got Joseph Nazarek putting in some solid work this week here in a transfer spot. He's got Tyler Crane inching up behind him. How about Jeremy Smith and Brian Haskell are 14th and 15th? So the points leader, or excuse me, the points leader tied for the points lead, Jeremy Smith, will not be making it out of this heat as we sit right now. Brady Stanley, after a horrific week at Phoenix, back out here this week looking good, but he's outside a transfer spot in 6th. Tyler Crane just went down. Looks like maybe he was trying to get around Nazarek, and that allows Stanley to get by. Then T. Crane, here comes the number 7 of Alexis Leclerc, who I guess must have gone down in that skirmish between Fresquez and Smith, as Fresquez now behind him, working his way through. Oh my goodness, Dylan Copeland just blew it. Saw it on the other side of the track. He just went down in of all places, the rhythm section with orange Tagger Designs bales. So Copeland, who was in transfer spot, now well and truly out of transfer spot. That's going to put Brady Stanley into the final transfer spot as he does the quad. Crane does the quad, and I believe Leclerc does it as well. Leclerc, of course, has that ridiculously springy suspension that allows him to do just about anything he wants. And, oh, we got a rider down. Was that Nazarek? It was, and that puts Leclerc into the final transfer spot. Oh, and they split him, and Brady puts Leclerc on the ground, and now Fresquez goes into the final transfer spot. I don't think Crane's very happy right now with Alexis Leclerc, and he is showing it. I could kind of see that coming. I think Crane was kind of waiting for Leclerc. Leclerc definitely one of the least liked riders on the track, usually probably one of the dirtiest as well. And Crane didn't want any of his bull crap today as he kind of waited for him over the finish line. I want to see where this goes now as Leclerc is trying to find a way around, and he goes down. Bummer for Leclerc, and it looks like Nazarek is going to get by. Is O'Hagan of that Prime Design Graphics team going to get by? Not quite, as Leclerc gets himself going again. So yeah, this is my time to tell the team IZI Racing Squad that because I don't have your skins, it'd be great if you released them so that I could see Leclerc. So Alfred kind of checked out with this lead right now on lap number 5. Just clicking off consistent laps. Kyle Robb sits second. Now we got a battle for third on our hands between the 22 and 21 machines of Brady Stanley and Tyson Fresquez. One is a System Decal rider, the other is a Barry Fly Racing rider, and a 2-2 Motorsports rider. The 2-2 rider of Brady Stanley goes down as Fresquez gets into him. That allows Tyler Crane into the final transfer spot, so we might see some fireworks here between Brady and Crane as they fight over that final transfer spot. Of course, Leclerc not out of it yet either as he goes after these two for the final transfer spot as well. And if all else fails and everybody goes down, Nazarek's still sitting pretty right there in the 7th place position. But Crane trying to make his first, I believe, main event of the season right now. Crane, a former winner in this class, not having a stellar year just yet. As Alfred, we catch him on this side of the track once more, still leading the race. Kyle Robb, pretty lonely in second. Now Fresquez, after that crash with Smith early on, is in 3rd. Crane in 4th. Oh, Leclerc now sits 5th, so I wonder if Leclerc will find his way into a final transfer spot. No, he OJs the quad over the tunnel, and down he goes. Here comes Nazarek, but Leclerc is going to get going before Nazarek gets there. O'Hagan, Stanley has dropped way back. Here's Brian Haskell, 2-time Supercross champion. Finally have his skins this week. And Jeremy Smith, two-time 250 Supercross champion, way back here. Neither of these guys are going to transfer. We're going to go back up front as Alfred finds his way to the finish line right now. Goes to the left side of the split like I was saying everybody does. And he brings the number 29 machine over the line. Alfred wins heat number 2 here in Anaheim. Kyle Robb, solid second place. Oh, Fresquez almost got into the back of a lapper there. Oh, and then he makes a mistake. Robb over the line in second. Looks like Tyler Crane is going to hang on for that final transfer spot. And he does. Crane over the line, gets fourth. Leclerc headed to the semi along with Jeremy Smith and Brian Haskell. And Andrew O'Hagan here, Prime Designs Graphics. Joseph Nazarak also to the semi. Brady Stanley to the semi. And Brian Haskell, as I said. Jeremy Smith. Ooh, Jesse Mullins, third in points, also going to the semi. So right now, none of the top 3 in points have gone to the main event. Remember, I was talking about Hunter Root. The only way he says he's going to race all the 450 rounds, as Hunter currently tied for the points lead. The only way he's going to race all the 450 rounds is if he is allowed to show up late to these events and race the last chance qualifier like he did last week. And he raced the LCQ, won the LCQ, went on to win the main event. And now he's tied for the points lead, but none of the top 3 riders in the points are headed to the main event just yet, as they will all have to go through the semis at least. So that is quite the shakeup. Fresquez, of course, the 4th place rider, he is headed to the main. Cuts are in, and the top 4 are A-OK, nothing affected there. So Tyler Crane makes his first main of the year, to my knowledge. It's good for Crane. Fresquez also to the main, as with Kyle Robb and Clay Alfrey. So we're grabbing a restart for what I presume is 250 heat number 1. Of course, the 250 class, a different format than the 450 class, where there is absolutely no semis in the 250 class, only heat races and 1 last chance qualifier. So out of the heat races, we'll do 6 lap, take 9 riders to the main event. All others head to the last chance qualifier where they will do 4 laps, and the top 4 will go to the main event to compile the 22-man gate for 15 laps later on this evening in the main event. So we're about to see who is in this one. Of course, just like in the 450 class, there are 2 different red plate holders heading into this week for the 250 class. As Dade Honeywell, Tyler Crane just blew up my chat. Mate, I got 6th last week. This isn't my first run. Okay, so thanks, Tyler. I totally forgot that you made the main last week. But I'd appreciate it in the future if you didn't absolutely destroy my chat room. So that was my apologies. Crane, 6th last week. But makes it directly through the heat race this time, so that's good for him. I did not get a chance to see who all was in this heat. Gonna go through and look now and miss half of them. Alright, well, I think I saw at least 1 red plate on the gate. Although Dade Honeywell isn't wearing his red plate for some reason. I have it. Anyway, we're about to get going. 250 heat 1 action from Anaheim. We are off and running. I couldn't quite see who that was on the Yamaha on the inside. That is Guillaume Flandin with the hole shot, but Connor Holiak rips around the outside, takes the lead away. On his number 34 Motorad ride, Ryan Kessler sits 2nd with Daniel Mills 3rd on that Tagger Designs team. And Wilcox is 4th, Craig Leak in 5th, Jack Fowler in 6th as Craig Leak slides out, so that's going to put Leak back to 6th. Ryan Burke is 7th, Sammy Holt 8th, and Daniel Batcha right now early on inside of transfer spot. Dominic Tiberino, the guy that made the cameras, sits outside of transfer, but he gets around Sammy Holt, who just got taken out in that corner. These guys not able to do the triple as everybody checks up in front of them. And that's Robert Wilson, Finn Collins, Sammy Holt. Oh, that's Jeremy Cohenauer. My apologies. I thought that was Dade, but I forgot that Cohenauer is just one number higher than Dade. So we will see both points leaders in the next heat race, I guess. So I'm going to move my mouse off the screen here. So Holiak leads, and if you watched This Week in Moto Gaming on Start Your Systems this week, you obviously learned that Holiak was disqualified from Phoenix for a infraction in which he dangerously got up from a crash and rode sideways off the track, or not off the track, sideways towards the middle of the track from the outside of the track. That caused a rider to go down, and Holiak lost all points from Phoenix, but was not banned from this week. Fortunately, we get to see the number 34 machine out here as he leads the way in this 6-lap heat race. Daniel Mills, the 525 machine, sitting in that number 2 ride right now. Nice little style over the triple. Got a nice picture of that Tagger Designs Katoom drain plug. Thomas Wilcox, 3rd. Wilcox caused a lot of stir on the forums last week after he let now points leading teammate Dennis Fjellberg by for the 3rd place position on the final lap of the race in the main event. And nothing was done about that as it's not illegal in RF sanctions. Craig Leake is in 4th behind him, with Tiberino throwing it sideways with Ryan Kessler. Or no, that's Jack Fowler. Sorry, I thought that was the number 80 of Kessler, but it is not, as the 89 Flowtech racing rider of Jack Fowler going to battle with Tiberino, the motorsport.com team. Ryan Burke. I definitely downloaded all of TM Factory Racing stuff, as I can prove it by the fact that I have Daniel Batchelot stuff, but I don't have Ryan Burke stuff for some reason. And then we got Mr. Shiny Gear Matt Burkeen getting around the outside of these guys. He's in a transfer spot. I was talking to somebody earlier today that said Burkeen, his gear pack, which I downloaded, does actually include all the right norms and specs, and whoever I was talking about said that they can see his gear just fine, but the pack I have, whatever it is, doesn't include the right spec map, I don't believe, as this is just a super shiny norm. And Burkeen is wearing the shiniest gear by far on the track, as he was 2nd place in last week's main event, just missed out on the win after going to battle with Honeywell a few times. Oh, we got a rider down here. That's Penwell, who's a lap down as he jumps off the track. These guys trying to battle for that final transfer spot, and I believe that it is Ryan Burke that has it right now. Craig Leake has dropped. Robert Wilson is in this. Cameron Hill, Jeremy Cohenauer, Sammy Holt. Just a big old train of riders coming down the start straight here. So we've actually got quite a bit of position switching. Oh, we got some riders down. That's Daniel Mills, it looked like, with Craig Leake maybe on the ground. No, that was I apologize. That was actually somebody else that I can't seem to find. All right, let's go back up front and work our way backwards. Holiak still leads, actually pretty far out in front. Wilcox is in that number 2 ride with Burkeen and Tiberino in 3rd and 4th. Ryan Burke is actually 5th, so I was wrong. And then Robert Wilson almost got together with Cameron Hill right there. These are positions 6 and 7 with Cohenauer, Mills, and Holt all in this mix. Wow, Cohenauer triples past the inside of Mills. That was a pretty gnarly move for the Jeremy Cohenauer Racing team owner. Oh, now we got them all stacked up here in the corner. Looks like Mills got together with Cohenauer, and then Robert Wilson gets by Mills and puts Sammy Holt on the ground. That's going to allow John Rollins through. And there's Ryan Kessler, who I was talking about earlier, with Sammy Holt, Finn Collins, and Craig Leake. So Leake way back from his earlier transfer spot days. Oh, he's going to go inside here on Finn Collins. Just gets on the front brakes in time. Rollins earful of Ryan Kessler right now as they're going after Jeremy Cohenauer, who has that final transfer spot. Cohenauer coughs it up to Mills, so Mills now in the final transfer spot. as Holiak's still checking out with the race lead right now. We are taking a look at the battle for the final transfer, though, and it is a good one as these guys get all tied up at the wall jump. Kohenauer almost got into the back of Ryan Burke as these guys are both in transfer now. Rollins gets into Mills and rides it. Oh, he doesn't ride out of it. That's going to put Kessler in the final transfer spot. Is now that's Kohenauer down with Ryan Burke, and these guys trying to avoid it. Leak goes across the bales, and now Burke is going to jump over and almost land on Craig Leak, and he does. And then he gets hit by Kessler. These guys are just all over the place. So now Rollins comes over the line again in the final transfer spot after going down. Daniel Batchelor, TM Factory Racing ride right behind him. So it's all on the line for that final transfer spot. I want to head up front real fast to see Holiak go over the line, just so that he gets his limelight for his first 250 heat race win of the year. And Holiak does indeed come over the line to win 250 Heat 1. Matt Burkeen looks like he's got second on lock as Cameron Hill's pretty far back. Tiberino is fourth. Wilcox is in fifth. Robert Wilson is in sixth. Finn Collins is in seventh. John Rollins makes a move on Craig Leak. He is eighth with Leak in ninth. And it looks like Daniel Batchelor's just going to miss out, as Leak does hold that final transfer spot down. And all those guys that were with him earlier just piled up in that corner back there. Rollins makes a mistake. Leak almost jumps off the track, but I think they are going to make it, and they indeed are. So Craig Leak gets that final transfer spot. Daniel Batchelor just missed out. So your transfer spots headed directly to the main event. Don't have to go to last chance qualifier. Craig Leak, John Rollins, Finn Collins, Robert Wilson, Thomas Wilcox, Dominic Tiberino, Cameron Hill, Matt Burkeen, and your race winner, Connor Holiak, who is this guy. Can't really see him through that mess of riders after the finish. Here's your heat race #1 winner, Connor Holiak of the Motorrad team, as he gets landed on by Daniel Mills. So good job for Holiak, as these guys are all piling in after the finish. We'll wait for cuts and see if it affects anything, but Batchelor finished up 4.5 seconds behind Leak. Ooh, and Leak ended up with some cuts. Leak had 1.04 seconds of cuts, but it doesn't matter as he still makes it in. So Holiak, Burkeen, Cameron Hill, Dominic Tiberino, Thomas Wilcox, Robert Wilson, Finn Collins, John Rollins, and Craig Leak to the main event. All others in this one are headed to that last chance qualifier, which you will see coming up shortly here on Start Your Systems TV, but we're going to get a restart here in just a moment and see the second 250 heat race, which, as I said, I believe holds both points leaders, Dennis Fjellberg, and the number 30 of Dade Honeywell in it. And I did download Honeywell's red plate bike, so we should be able to see him just fine. Let's see what we're waiting on a restart for. Oh, here we go. Yep, and Fjellberg, Honeywell, Chromie, Heberlein, Deniz, Tissone, Castermans, just to name a few that are in this one coming up. And again, I'm probably going to take 8, maybe 9 hours to load in. Maybe tomorrow we'll get into this race. Definitely need to get a new processor, as my computer is just not liking all this loading. Whoa. Excuse me. So again, everyone, thanks for tuning in to Start Your Systems TV tonight, live on Twitch. I appreciate all 52-ish of you followers on right now. So you see somebody running a bike that they shouldn't. Don't know what's going on here. You can see the 3 and the 30 of Honeywell and Fjellberg right there at the base of your screen. Oh, Fjellberg gets tossed. Of course, this is just a warm-up lap, but I want to take a look at Honeywell's number 30 machine, which looks awfully fresh. Jeremy Kohenauer racing ride of Honeywell. Finally can see their skins, folks. So like I said, 41 points, I believe, is the amount of points that these guys are tied on for the lead. Tyler Schmidt. Langley is running Alec Kattenberg's 2013 Racetech 250. I mean, the only reason I had that is because I needed to go back and record old footage, but why is Langley riding that bike? That was a really nice flip by Honeywell. And here's your other points leader, number 3 of Dennis Fjellberg, Anaheim 1 winner, Honeywell, last week's winner at Phoenix. As we get a restart, and let's see. You can't go wrong with Tyler Schmidt. Seems to get really good starts, and he's in a pretty good position for us to watch. So Honeywell all the way to the inside gate with Fjellberg 2 spots over from him. Tassone just next to Honeywell. We are about to get underway. 250 heat race action from Anaheim. Looks like a good jump for Fjellberg. A better jump for the 23 ride. No, that should be the 26 of Matt Cromie. He's on Kyle Robb's 250 for some reason instead of his usual 26 ride. But Fjellberg comes out second. Tassone, whose skins I finally have, is third. And then it looks like Tyler Schmidt just absolutely cleaned somebody out in third or fourth or whatever that was. And then Langley running that silly red plate bike. I still don't know why he's on it. It's kind of annoying that we're trying to run this organized series and people decide to show up and race red plate bikes. Cough. Doug Oakley, cough. So Matt Cromie, last week's runner-up in the 250 West Series, over the line, has the lead over Fjellberg. And then it's Tassone, Langley, Austin Anderson, Anthony Jefferson, Tyler Schmidt, Gustavo Diniz, and Zach Prokop right now, I believe, has that final transfer. He's got a host of pressure from Jason Pama, Frank Castermans, Dade Honeywell. So Honeywell, now they get by Gustavo, Gustavo Diniz, who's on the ground. Jerry Robbins, 7th last week in Phoenix, trying to work his way into a transfer spot. So we got Prokop, Pama, and Honeywell. Honeywell holds down that last transfer spot, but Castermans absolutely sends him. And that's going to give Robin the final transfer as he makes the move on Honeywell. I wonder what that was all about. Casterman's maybe not gelling too well right now with Honeywell as Langley gets past, and that puts Casterman's into 10th. Honeywell now holds the final transfer spot right behind Jerry Robin, but he's going to make the move as Robin makes a mistake coming out of that corner. And then over that tight wall, Jerry Robin gets into the back of Honeywell. It looked like he had crossed over pretty hard from the left to the right, so bummer for Jerry Robin as Andrew Jennings, Tyler Schmidt, Brandon Langley get by. Frank Cashmans was already by. Honeywell now goes after Jason Pama for the 7th place position. And then his teammate Anthony Jefferson is also right there. Oh, Pama almost into the back of Jefferson. Oh my goodness, how did they get that close and not go down? Now Jefferson way over jumps, somehow doesn't go down, but instead Honeywell, who just barely cased, went down. That allows Langley, Casterman, Schmidt all by. He is not in a transfer spot anymore. So going back up front, Cromie still leads. Fjellberg, Tassone. That's 2-3. Austin Anderson, Jason Pama, Zach Prokop, Anthony Jefferson. And then Castermans and Schmidt now holds the final transfer spot as he jumps off towards the middle of the track. Somehow still triples back onto the track. He's about to have an earful of Dade Honeywell. Oh, we got a rider down. That's Austin Anderson, it looks like, and it is. Anderson now slips back to 10th. Honeywell again in that final transfer spot. Will he hold it down from here? Tyler Schmidt looking to make the move on Casterman's. Very, very, very nice. Didn't force the issue at all like Casterman's did on Honeywell, and it's going to cost Schmidt as he comes up short on the triple. And Honeywell gets by. So now we got Honeywell versus Casterman's again. Let's see if the bad blood is still seething in these two racers. as this is your battle for 6th. Actually, kind of your battle for 5th as Honeywell actually slides out. But Casterman's, if he gets Jefferson, will have 5th place locked down as Tassone is 4th. Pama all the way up to 3rd, so Pama making moves on his Motorad ride. Good run for the Motorad riders of Connor Holiak and Jason Pama. Remember, Holiak, your heat race winner. And now Pama looking really strong in 3rd. Fjellberg still 2nd, trying to chase down Matt Cromie, get himself a better gate pick for that main event. But Cromie right now, looking strong. I don't remember what Holiak ran for race time, but these guys definitely looking a little bit faster than Holiak at the moment, and they're both pushing each other, so that always kind of helps push the race time up. And, of course, the lower total race time between the two heats gets preference in gate pick. So if Cromie wins this and has a lower total race time than Holiak did, he will have the first gate pick in the main. Holiak will have 2nd, and Fjellberg will have 3rd, as that's how gate pick goes in this class. Oh, Pama, how did he stay on the bike as he gets in and out of the underpass there in the crowd? Only lost 1 position to Tassone, fortunately enough for Pama. So he slides back to 4th. Frank Castermans finds himself in 5th now. With Honeywell in 6th, Jerry Robin in 7th, Zach Prokop in 8th, Austin Anderson in 9th, and Langley 10th. Gustavo Diniz just gets around Tyler Schmidt. That's 11th and 12th. And Anthony Jefferson, who was up in a transfer spot earlier. Thomas Sillick, Luke Heberlein, Aaron Hachi, Andrew Jennings, Brock Pappy, Brad Bellotti, and Connor Peavy is rage quit. And I believe that's all your runners, as we are about to get the white flag from Dennis Fjellberg. Cromie was down. Didn't quite see what happened. Cromie may have just fallen off by himself, but the gap is around 10 seconds-ish, so maybe these two got together. As Fjellberg leads his big old number 3 red plate around on this final lap. Cromie, hopefully he switches to his correct bike for the main, has an earful of Maxime Tassone. So Tassone, a very interesting story. He runs the EMF, MX Sim Federation now, and in 2013, he was probably one of the better 250 West Riders, as he unfortunately goes down, but I'll continue talking about him. Probably one of the better 250 West Riders. Never actually won a main event, but I believe he finished 3rd in points in 2013, and then just fell off the face of the earth in 2014, and we saw none of him. It was very much like Kevin Lelong, his teammate, who's now back as well. Lelong, very fast in 2013, then just gone in 2014. And these guys are back now running 3-digit numbers. As you can see, Tassone runs the 451. But it's definitely good to see them back. Always nice to have a little foreign flavor in these series, as Fjellberg from Norway takes the win in 250 heat number 2. Cromie's going to hang on for 2nd. Honeywell masterfully works his way all the way up to 3rd, so he's going to really do himself some favors for gate pick in the main event right now. As Castermans looks to come across in 4th with Jerry Robin in 5th, so 2nd straight week that Robin finds himself comfortably in the main. Pama gets a 6th. Prokop in the main in 7th for JZR. That's Jared Steidhoff's teammate. And Gustavo Diniz battling with Tassone to the line. Cuts him off and gets 8th. Tassone gets 9th. Langley headed to the last chance qualifier with Heberlein, Hachi, Jefferson, Stillick, Anderson, Schmidt, Bellotti, Pappy, Jennings, and Connor Peavy. I am going to throw you guys to a quick little break here to catch my breath and get a glass of water, because I'm getting pretty worn out here. But be sure to join back here on the other side of this break for more of the 2015 MotoOption Supercross Series presented by Fly Racing, where we will have 450 semi action. So yeah, we'll be right back, guys.